Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night from all corners of the globe. I am your host, Michael Swigert, here on the New Human Project podcast. In this episode, we will take a closer look at the life of a U.S. immigrant and try to understand the process by which a person comes to the United States and adjusts to their new world. Today, I have with me a special guest from Cuba. Yuritzander Garcia is a Cuban citizen who moved to the United States. Yuri is currently a legal U.S. immigrant. Stay tuned to learn more here on the New Human Project podcast.
What can you tell me about your childhood? What do you remember from it?
Before I start, I would like to give thanks to you and to all your audience for this opportunity to express myself and be able to share with all of you my story, my vision, and of course the opportunity to show a little bit my world that and might something that I will share will be good for you, will be at certain point like something that it will help you to grow or compare to your reality. So to all of you audience, to you, Michael, thank you for this chance, for this opportunity.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time with me today.
Childhood. Childhood reminds, it comes to my mind, my thoughts, um, innocence, same time, games, not the games that we see today, but the games like traditional games that are not, of course, time changes. Um, Things are not the same today as it was before. That reminds me a lot of guys running up and down the streets, gambling, throwing. We we we. I don't know how to say in English. It's we say canicas. It was like little balls that we roll on the floor, and it was.
Oh, I think it's like marbles. I
Mhm.
think that's like the equivalent. Yeah.
Reminds me knock the door of our neighbors and run away. Yes, reminds me fun at certain point and at certain another point was challenging. Was challenging,
Yeah.
challenging for the culture, challenging for the necessities, challenging for the my way of being, my way of express since I'm born and I things that I don't see on me and people see from you, you know?
Yeah. Judgments from others.
Yeah.
I see. So we've talked a little bit about your childhood. What was your family like? And what was Cuba like?
Cuba, the Cuba that I remember at that time used to be a Cuba where the classic Cuba that everyone think about when you mean Cuba. And when I say that, I think about rum. I think about people well dressed and people hang out, people drinking a lot of rum. Not so much tobacco as people might think, because yes, more into cigarettes. And the old people, yes, they used to more into tobacco than into cigarettes. But yes, it was a Cuba of multiple dance that right today like disappeared like danzón, like like there was a salsa, but not the same salsa that you can see in Cuba in days on the actual days. A lot of classic dance Cuban rhythms uh, and happy people, or people that always has been a necessity, but they don't see necessity because it's the way that they grow up, the things that them saw, and it's the way that them perceive that a normal world would work. Yeah.
I see. So a lot of things have changed since you grew up there. The music, the way people maybe dress or act, and so how many years did you live in Cuba?
36.
36.
36.
What, if you wouldn't mind sharing, what decade were you born in?
80s.
80s. I see.
I am from 1983.
1983. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you lived in Cuba, and then you moved directly from Cuba to the United States, correct?
No. Um, One of the good things that I appreciate and people not see in Cuba is the education. Anytime that you mean Cuba, first that people think is about music, rum, tobacco, um, beautiful mulatas, like beautiful women.
Yeah.
But people think also about good doctors, good professional people. Um, I would say that even when we don't have the source that I have seen in other countries, I have to admit that what can be a weak point on us is a strong point. Why? Because we have a chance to study, and I give thanks on my country that I had a chance to study in. I could made and made my bachelor degree, master degree, and I was selected in a very small group to come out of Cuba, and I went to Antigua and Barbuda. That is an island. It's an island that belongs to the Leeward Islands, and I was there for the last 5 years. I was 5 years in Antigua from 2017 to 2021. Um, when I finished my studies, there was like a selection, a very small selection of professionals that would be able to come out. Of course, I saw a big chance, a big opportunity, not just to come out of a country, but grow in my profession as I develop and I learn different ways of diagnose, and I saw a big chance to come out and grow professionally and in English. Yes, I still have a lot of learned in English,
Yeah.
but yes, I have I saw the possibility to learn and increase my knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So what is your job? What is your career field that you studied in?
I made a I was a microbiologist.
I see.
I'm still being, but I can uh, work it like a microbiologist here in America
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah. That's awesome. So the education is, you said it could be a weak point in Cuba, but it's also one of the strong, the central parts of Cuba is that you were actually able to get an education.
Yes,
I see.
it's accessible. It's very accessible. There are things that are completely wrong. Uh, Being a professional in Cuba, it's something that is not so hard. What is hard is get paid as professional and find a place to work in what you study. live of what you study.
I see.
It's extremely difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. So the education is there. It's just difficult to find a job. I see.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know much about that. So you went to Bermuda, correct?
Antigua, Barbuda.
Antigua, Bermuda. You studied there for 5 years to get your master's degree.
Part of it, yes. Once I start, I didn't have I thought that I will come, stay there, work there. The main reason why I came was like a contract. It's an agreement between governments from Antigua and Cuba.
Mhm.
And I came to work, but I found that I found chances to keep studying. The hospital thought to keep me as a manager of the lab, so they try to tell me to grow, and appears a lot of opportunities, chances to study. Even there are still um, studios. I say right. Help me when I say something wrong. My primary is not a big strong point on me. So I study even online, but I study even courses that I made from Florida University. I have like 50 courses that I pass. Um, I mean, like master, not like a master degree, but it's like postgraduate courses that you can take once you finish your bachelor degree.
Yeah. I see. So when did you come to the US?
US was in 2021.
I see. So you've been here for about 4 years now?
4 years running to the fifth. October, it would be my fifth. Yeah.
I see. So how did you prepare to come to the US? Because you are a native Spanish speaker, and I think your English is great. I can understand you just well, but I'm sure you probably, yeah, of course. I'm sure you probably dealt with, you know, some difficulties coming. So how did you prepare?
I will start saying that the United States wasn't the country that I always thought to go. We find a huge community of Cubans at Miami. Miami, basically, you feel like you are in Cuba. But the United States was not the ambition, was not the dreamland that I always try to afford. If I would choose, I think I thought first in Canada than in the United States.
I see.
But of course, the chances to get a residency, like migrant status, was better to get in America than in Canada. Let's say that I try to do it. I always try as much as it's possible to me to do the things the right way. I am not a person who like to be related in problems or police, or I avoid as much as I can any anything related with police or something like that. So
Yeah.
once I came out from Cuba to Antigua, and I thought that was an agreement, and we find a lot of Cuban doctors, Cuban professionals coming out of the country by this kind of agreements, or we think that are agreements, and it's basically it's an inhuman way to serve in another countries, because we are submitted to a trade. It's a trade. Because the fact that you reach to another country and somebody take away your passport, then you start to feel like you alarms, like you think that something is going wrong, something is not going good.
Yeah.
I was working, I was studying, I was trying to stay in Antigua, but suddenly they realized the Cuban gay that I'm gay, and I was having a gay relation. Let's say that Cuba macho man lifestyle refused to embrace what it means being gay, and still, even when a couple things have changed in the country, still, um, if you don't mind to help me with a word,
Yeah.
people refuse to treat you well or to respect you.
Yeah.
And
Discrimination.
discrimination, perfect.
Yeah.
So Antigua is it was worse than what I thought about this topic.
I see.
In Antigua, people can be uh, gay people, no, gay community. If the society realize that you you are like in a danger threat. You are a threat, and the the punishment is throw stones to you till then
Wow.
kill.
Wow.
Depending
So
if people have a hard life when people don't behave so, or people don't show what they are, or the people if people live hiding what they are, it's not a problem. If you're still behaving like a macho man and people still having relations, it's okay. It's kind of embrace. But if you are walk with the person that you're having a relation, or people see you that you walk with with a problem that you can be killed one of those days.
yeah. So essentially, if you are publicly displaying that you may be having relations with someone of the same gender, then that's where you can run into trouble and potentially be killed or persecuted in some way.
Uh-huh. So
Wow.
I was trying to come out to freedom, and I found a place where I was in more prison than when I was. Oh, kind of the same.
Mhm.
Then I said, I can go back to Cuba because wasn't plans. My plans was walk back to Cuba and try to find a legal way to go to Canada, study.
Yeah.
Always one of my main goals has been study, grow up, do something that I like microbe, that is my passion, and reach very high. Go deep in investigation. I really love investigation.
Yeah.
And I say I'll go back to Cuba, but I suddenly I face that the brigade take me to send me back to Cuba when they realize about the relation that I was having with Joel, that is my actual husband.
Mm-hmm.
And when they took me and then said we're gonna send you back, I faced a meeting when I expressed myself, and that meeting put me in a place where them say, okay, we will send you back to take you to a. I would not say that I will go, that I will went, but I know for sure that I would be in trouble if I walk back as they were planning. So they called me like a Friday, and they told me you have to go back to Cuba. I say why? They say no, because after what happened in the meeting where you express yourself, where you said that you you go against um, communism, and you are not agree with the base of the brigade, so we will kick you out. And once you reach back to Cuba, you will be judged. You will be in a meeting, and then where then decide what's gonna be happen to you. Uh, so
Wow.
I felt like something wrong went like cooking, and
Yeah.
I on my own I say I can't go back. I know my mom is there, I know my son is there, but I can't go back. So they planned the trip Antigua, Jamaica, because there is not a straight flight from Antigua to Cuba, and I have like a stop in Jamaica. In Jamaica, the person who drive, the person who planned the hotel, even the pilot, the person who drove the plane, all was like something engaged because all of them met each other. And I realized what was happening and I saw my life in danger. So I say from from the time that I went to Jamaica, I say I have to flee from here. So
Yeah.
I stayed in Jamaica and I started to plan what I would do. Jamaica and all most of the Leeward Island around the Caribbean, they have like engagement or partnership with
Yeah.
dictatorship government of Cuba.
Mhm.
And I felt my life in danger. So I didn't have a chance to say, I will do what I had in plans to go back to Cuba and find a way to come to or go to Canada and study, but I have to flee and I will ask for asylum. Then was when I um, came Jamaica, Panama. I make like an escape in Panama, Mexico, and Mexico, unfortunately, um, uh, the border come to America.
Yeah, I see. That's quite the
My plan
journey.
was to reach to the border and ask for asylum because I applied one time from Antigua and I wrote to Barbados,
Mhm.
where the American embassy, and I tried to explain the three things that I was uh, passing by, or and I was trying to help to ask them because before there used to be an medical parole here in America who allow us as a member of the uh, Cuba Medical Brigade to ask for deferral and come straight to America. But then they request me, American Embassy in Barbados request me that there is not anymore that law that I will have to come directly to the border and ask for asylum. And it was what I did.
I
Because
see.
I felt my life in complete danger as I was fear for the life of Joel, my husband, because I left him out on the brigade. I received a lot of threatened by the Cuba.
Yeah.
Uh, I felt very, I still feeling scared that
Yeah.
something happened to me and I will have to go back, of course.
Yeah. Wow. That's that's insane. I didn't know all that. That's quite the journey, and I'm glad you're safe now. I'm glad that you were able to seek out asylum here. Um, that's that's a wild story. I did not know that, and I assume Joel is here now.
Thank God
Um,
that he's here. After I left, of course, all the charge come over his shoulders. God's brigade say, we see them together, so they went over him. So now tell me, where's him? What he's doing? So it was straight. Once I reached to Jamaica, being in the hotel, I jump the because it was like all prepared. Since I left Antigua,
yeah.
all was like a plan prepared to send me back to Cuba.
Yeah.
They gave me a paper that I will have to bring to the pilot of the plane who will drive me back to Cuba.
Wow.
And the person of the hotel, as I told you before. So once I step in Jamaica, hotel call brigade in Antigua, Antigua call Cuba, and I receive a letter. You are like it's basically my story. I felt like where Cimarron was the black when black people flee away from the from the owners.
Yeah.
Yes, I felt exactly like that.
Wow.
I'm still I'm still affected very much.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. that's that's scary. I'm sorry you had to experience that, but I'm glad you're safe here now, and you found asylum.
Not
Well, safer.
still have to approve the asylum. I'm still in the process
Gotcha.
of got parole and stay in the country.
Yeah, I see. Well, I definitely wish you the best.
Thank you.
And I hope that that does go through and that you can stay here more long term. So I know you also mentioned that you also have a son in Cuba, correct?
Yeah.
I see. And you also have other family in Cuba as well. You have a mother, and do you have any other siblings or relatives that live in Cuba?
Basically, my family would be my mommy and my son. My father wasn't like a person in my life.
Yeah.
He lived in another town, away, another city, very away from where I live, and I see him from time to time. My mommy has sisters. Yes, they are there, but we are not like close by.
Yeah.
Main family still being my mommy and my son.
Yeah. How is your mother and son doing?
Important to say that once I come out of the brigade, once I reach the United States and I ask for asylum, and I'm able to express myself now, and I say I don't want to be related with anything what means communism.
Yeah.
On control and threaten and put words in my mouth that I don't want to say or think the way they think.
Yeah.
Once I step out and I write and I fight for my rights, my mommy received a letter. Your son is a defeater, or they use a word, desertor. Desertor means like when you are in an army and you come out of that army and they treat that you are like something separate, something like is against the system.
Like a traitor.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. So once I receive that punishment, I'm not allowed to go back to the country. I received like a notification. My mommy received like a notification.
Wow.
We have already 8 years that we not see each other. We don't know if we're gonna see each other again. I don't plan any way to go back. It hurts, but I don't plan to go. Ever. I think my life would be in danger if I'm going back. And I feel they are in threat, and also because I know they can try, the system can try to hurt them, to make me feel bad, or to affect me. Yes,
Wow.
I feel them. I fear for them also. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still have any way to stay in contact with them at the very least, or talk to them?
Yes, we use common ways as WhatsApp or email, or we use all the ways. But of course, when I talk with them, I don't talk nothing about politics, trying to keep them safe.
Yeah.
I just talk about basic familiar things, as how are you doing, but we don't talk like deeply topics that can put them in any kind of danger, because of course something that would happen to them, it will hurt me, of course, and I don't want to feel like something wrong it will happen to them because I decide to be free, because I decide to embrace being free and have a free speech and be able to myself, and I don't want to hide anymore who I am.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, that puts you in a very difficult situation, because you are here and you're free, and you're able to express yourself freely, and who you are is important. And if you feel like you're suffocating and you can't express yourself, that's no way to live. So I totally understand that. Everybody should have the right to express themselves freely. I truly believe that. And I thank you for sharing that. That's I mean, I had no idea. That's really difficult to hear. I hope that they're safe. And again, no one can judge you in this situation, and I thank you for sharing that, and I really appreciate, you
Thanks
sharing
you.
that. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about, your experiences here. So have you faced any hardships coming here, such as culture shock or language barriers? But also, what are some of the benefits that you see of living here? I know you kind of touched on that a little bit already. So I guess what are the pros and cons of living here?
Okay. United States is not what it is once you step in here. People think they are ready to come and face United States. Some I don't have some for some I think it would be like easier, and for another ones would be like more rough to accommodate to the system. But anyways, it's still being a big step. Let's say that I didn't came directly from Cuba to States. Of course, I was in Antigua, that it was also capitalism system, and I was able to see a difference before coming from the States. Okay, so English wasn't a barrier for me, wasn't something difficult for me, even when I'm still learning, and I would like to keep improving my English.
Yeah. Your English is good. I can understand you. You're doing good.
I'm sorry for the mistakes when I speak first.
No, you're good.
English wasn't a problem, but a couple things at the system. I think at certain ways are for certain things it's easier, and for another things it's like too difficult to reach out. For example, I would like to have a chance to study even when I don't get my residency right now. Because even if I don't want to stay in the country, that is not my case. But I would like to have the chance to study. I don't understand why it's limited the way that I can go back to what I was. If I have even titles from here, from the country, if I have studies that I made here in the country, why it's so difficult to go back to what I was doing before coming, that I feel so, it's like my big point, like my sword to fight in this country. I know for sure, for me, as for Joel, that he was a doctor at ICU. He's a super professional, and we have this stuff because of the papers to hold us to move forward and be able to study. I think it will have to be a possibility to study even where you are interested to stay in the country, find easier ways to study.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. It's difficult. So although you have all of this experience and you studied for so long, it's difficult for you to even get a job in the field that you studied in here in the States.
Yes.
I see. And it's not necessarily well, you just want to be able to use the education that you have to get a job here, but it's difficult because of the papers and possibly, immigration status or things like that.
I was sharing with Joel And even when you have a knowledge, even when you come out here in the United States or
Mhm.
wherever you go, even when you have the studies, once you start a job with something related with what you study, you are in Pampers. Why? Because experience goes beyond the knowledge. Experience is something that is invaluable. I remember when I finished to graduate and I start to work, there was an old woman at the lab when I start, and she saw me with that face of smiling. Her name is Mary, and she will be in my soul forever. And she saw me, she laughed like we were on the reading time, reading the plates, and the main doctor was asking what kind of colonies of bacteria what we were seeing, and and I thought like I was super brave to say that's it or this is or this not,
Yeah.
and she laughed. She laughed because for more knowledge that I will walk with from just common of being graduate, she got the experience.
Yeah.
She had that magnificent experience, and it was easy for her to diagnose anything. I'm still learning from her, and I'm still drinking all that knowledge that she has. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
what I want to mean with all that is that um, experience, more than the knowledge that I have of all what I studied before, it's the 15 or almost 20 years of being working at a microbeat. And
Yeah.
that is what gives me uh, what helps for me. And I even would like to start in a lab where I would be able to start like I don't want to go straight to the top reading office. No, I would like to start even cleaning better dishes or or sterilization room. But
Yeah.
at least in something related,
Yeah.
being like in a base and keep studying, working, growing, but start in a way that I can be in the system. My ambition is start in the system no matter where, how how low would seem, but start being there, and I will prove who I am and how far can I reach.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, you want to regain, or you want to gain some experience in microbiology here. You have a lot of experience, but you also
Yeah,
want the experience here so that way you can grow into a higher position in the future.
yeah,
I
yes.
see. Good. So I'm a little curious about your experience. I'm also curious about your experiences here with people in the United States. So I know you've experienced discrimination and prejudice in Antigua, but I was also curious, have you experienced any prejudice or discrimination here, and how have you navigated those experiences?
The question, the question at this moment where we are recording this, where the country, not just for me,
Mhm.
for Americans, for millions and millions of people who live in this country.
Mhm.
I'm blessed because since when I went to the airport to pick up Joel, when Joel came, we hug each other, and we were able to express who we are, respecting others, of course,
Yeah.
but we hug each other in front of everyone, and nobody turns to say what you are doing is wrong. And till my actual day, I said that I love Columbus, Ohio. I love Columbus in spite of all the situation, the actual situation. But um, I never been discriminated for being Latin or for being gay or for being black. Never.
Wow.
Eh, of course, wherever you go, wherever you be, you will find good and bad people. Uh, Human way of being always manifest in all the ways wherever you go. So of course there would be racist people, not just here in America.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's even in Antigua. Wherever I have been, I see there is a racist person. It's anywhere. But so far I haven't been like uh, underestimate. People love me where the place where I work now. Uh, Most of the place where I've been is always a good treat. This culture here in Ohio, the people open doors for you. I feel like I still feel like wow,
Yeah.
and I love the culture here. I love the people here. Uh, I don't like I don't like that nobody would be discriminated. I don't like discrimination at known ways, by
Yeah.
no race, by no um, religion, by not sexual orientation.
Yeah.
I think as the same way we respect, we should respect also to others. And
Yeah.
it's a basic it's a basic of human relations. Respect is one of the strong bases of human relationships.
Yeah. Is respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, first of all, I'm very pleased to hear that we've welcomed you, uh, or that in general people have welcomed you here. Glad to hear that you've had a mostly positive experience here. Would you say that you feel at home here in the U.S., or do you?
I feel home when the plane says "Welcome to Ohio." Ohio. Yeah, I feel I feel home.
That's
I
good.
feel home because I can be who I am. One, in spite of the difficulties that I have found to get my residency as Joel also, we're
Mhm.
still fighting, and we so far we don't have like we are crossing on into difficult times related with the asylum, but we
Yeah.
still keep the hope in us that we will get through. Also, in spite of all, we think that we are blessed to be in a place when we can be we who are. We don't need to hide anymore that we're okay. We don't need to say long live Fidel, long live revolution. Uh, we don't need to to say something that we not feel we are pleased to be in the States in spite of all.
That's good. I'm glad. I'm very happy to hear that you feel you can express yourselves freely and safely for the most part here. That's good to hear. So I'm also curious. Obviously you spent a good portion of your life in Cuba. How do you maintain your cultural identity, and how do you balance that with your American identity? Because I assume that your life has probably changed a lot since you've moved here. So how do you kind of hold on to uh, your own cultural heritage?
I think we will be we will be us, and be us is part of the way that we grow up. The things that you not see that your family is putting on you. I mean, meals, places, song, rhythms, games. It's a bunch of things that make or create your personality, things that you are not able to see till certain time.
Yeah.
I, all of us, we all of us, I think from Monday to Friday, we are basically work and do what it's supposed to be done, or gym, or run, or whatever we have to face during the week. But once we can reach for those who don't work on the weekends, there is a moment when you want to express yourself. There is a moment when you want to remember a son who reminds you a person, a moment, a family, a friend.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's at that times when all what is inside you explodes, you know?
Yeah.
So that I found a little small community of Cubans, friends, where I can meet Rafael
Yeah.
and couple of my kind of soulmates. I mean, soulmates, people who like we share the same things, and
Yeah.
we still cooking Cuban dishes. Or unfortunately, I don't find a Cuban restaurant at Columbus.
Nothing like the food that Rafael makes or that you guys make, that's for sure.
Thank you. So looking for people who would like to share with us, of course, and we try to keep that roots. I mean, that songs who remind my father or my mommy. We still trying to gather together from time to time and keep alive, keep alive the best of this culture that now is kind of lost.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I kind of already knew a little bit of how you guys maintain your cultural identity because, well, I've spent some time with you and your small Cuban community over there. And yeah, if there's three things that really define it, it's food, drink, and music. And well, I guess dance too, but that's that is the core of a lot of what you guys really hang on to. But it's great, that's a wonderful way to celebrate your culture and to continue to do those things. For you, it may be just something that you do on the weekends, but for me as an American, it's really cool to, I feel lucky being able to experience those things with you guys. The food is really good too.
Thank
Nothing
you.
like it. Yeah. So I guess, are there any parts of your culture that you want to pass on or share with people?
Still the bands. I think there is a Cuban. I think I'm not sure, but there is. I don't know. I don't think it would be Cuban, but there is like a dance school somewhere around here, and I haven't been. But dance is one of the most deep Cuban expressions that one of the I like the most.
Yeah.
The way that male guide the woman during the steps, the rhythms, the the I can't call it that way. It's like a flirt, like a romance flirt with but by the dance, and it's something completely speechless. It's so on us, so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's something that I would like. It's something that I really would like to be sure. Yes.
Yeah. I do really like salsa music too. I know that's a big part of what I know that's not specifically what you're talking about, but that is one thing that I will say because it's super big around the world in a lot of Latin American countries, and that does originate from Cuba, salsa music. So that's another thing you guys have that I think is wonderful, both salsa music and dance for salsa. I feel like there's a low barrier to entry too, and for Americans, that is a good thing to have.
We will be right back. And now, a quick word for our sponsors. As a martial artist, our philosophy and way of life goes beyond the walls of where we train. As an artist of life, self-expression is the name of the game. What better way to express your style than with streetwear that tells others who's in town. Master artist and calligrapher Yasuko, owner of Dragon Ika Calligraphy Art, has everything you need. Whether it's hand-painted calligraphy shirts, custom-made Japanese calligraphy necklaces, artistic drinkware, or seasonal specials, Dragon Ika has everything you need to express your appreciation for life and art. Support your local business and check out Dragon Ika Calligraphy Art on Instagram at dragon_Ika, that's IKKA, or visit their website at www.dragonika.com. Use code NEWHUMAN10 to get 10% off all merchandise. Alright, listen, I'm a dude with long hair, and I can't hide my secret any longer. For years, I've struggled with finding the right products for my hair. I've always wanted a long flowing mane, but I wanted it to look good and healthy, you know? Well, I finally found the perfect thing. About 2 years ago, I started using Yuri shampoo and conditioner bars, and I haven't looked back since. They have a plethora of products for different hair types, which for me may change depending on the season. Another thing I love about their products is that they use all natural ingredients, rice water being the main ingredient, and they avoid using sulfates and plastics in their products. Yuri has partnered with the Red Yao tribe of the Longshan River area in China to bring sustainable and unique products to the market. I highly recommend that you, male or female, check out their unique products and designs on their website at www.viori.com. That's Viori, spelled Viori. Use code SWIGERTSTRONG at checkout to get 10% off your order. And now back to the show.
Do you have any big plans for the future? And what are some of your life goals?
Depending on the side where you see the things, it means a big thing or not. Saying that, I will have to say that what for me might say that it's a big thing, might for others is not. Whoever that might now would be at the lab doing a daily job and might person the job that they are doing, for me would be a dream. Yes.
Yeah.
Because just the fact that I would be back in a lab, that already would be a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Lab became for me like breath. We don't realize, we don't know till the day when we don't have it, as when you are healthy and you don't see that you are healthy till the day when you get sick. So for me, one of the big things that it will happen to me is just even be able to wear again
your lab coat.
Yep.
Yeah. You just want to be able to wear the lab coat again. Yeah.
Just go back and that environment, be back the microscope again, got a slide in my hands. That already would be something big for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
And of course, any part of the lab, I don't care where, but I would be able to start and grow and show what I have done or receive, because I'm completely open to the new ways that might exist. It's already 4 to 5 years that passed, so of course it would exist 1,000 ways of diagnose that I am completely back in time for the time that I have been separate from what it was my profession. And you don't realize that big part of you is who you are as professional.
Yeah.
One of the ways that you will reach to your success, one of the ways that you will feel pleased with who you are, is be performing something that you love, something that you feel passionate to do.
Yeah.
And whatever who takes me back to the lab, it will be a big thing for me. Yeah.
I see. I have hope, and I believe that you will get back in the lab.
I know for sure.
Yeah.
I know for sure.
All right. So I just have one more question for you. If you could leave everyone listening with one piece of advice, what would you say?
There would be consequence. All what you do, it has consequence. You are today a manifestation of the things that you have done or the decisions that you choose before.
Mm-hmm.
But keep, in spite of all, keep being yourself, the best of your version. And it doesn't mean that you will not be, you won't be open to receive and to renew your thoughts or your vision of the world around you. But don't matter what, be the best version of yourself.
Be the best version of yourself. I like that. That's a good one. That's really good. Well, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. It was wonderful getting to speak with you, and yeah, that a lot of things that I learned about you today, and it's wonderful that I get to do this and get to know people like you and know your story and share it with the world. So I look forward to speaking with you again, possibly in the future.
Of course.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
My guest today was Yuri Garcia. For more exciting interviews with people from all over the globe, tune in once a month to Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, or wherever you get your podcasts, and look up the New Human Project podcast. Follow us here and on Instagram at TNHP_podcast. For updates, content releases, free resources, or everything TNHP, subscribe to the TNHP Updates mailing list. Details for subscription are available on the Instagram page. I am your host, Michael Swigert, and I thank you for joining me today on the New Human Project podcast.